On the hotline right now from the Center for Orthopedics, Dr. James Oliger. Doctor, let's start with this. We continue to see ACL and Achilles injuries, of course, across football, but one other injury, and in particular of note here in Cleveland, we've seen leg and ankle breaks/fractures. Is there any difference, and is one worse than the other in any instance?
Yeah, good question. What I want you to know is fractures and breaks are essentially the same thing, really the same thing. And when you break a bone, it's the same thing as a fracture. So a fracture is just another word to describe a break. One is not worse than the other. It's really just the same thing.
In addition to that, in Detroit, one of their star defenders, Aiden Hutchinson, broke his tibia back in Week 6. And there's been talk recently about whether he could make a return at any point in the postseason, maybe even for the biggest game of the year, if they reach that point. Does that seem realistic to you at all? And what's a typical timeline for a broken tibia or fibula in the leg?
Yeah, classic timeline for any broken bone, it takes about 3 months for the bone to completely solidify on average. The thing that I worry about is after you have been essentially staying off your leg, you have to have recovery of strength as well. So if you don't use it, you lose it. And so that's a bigger component. Yeah, you need the bone to heal, which takes 3 months, but then you have this significant weakness, which takes quite a bit of time to return your full strength. If you return to play too soon, what can happen is that other things can get injured as well. And so if your leg isn't strong enough, that can lead you to compensate with the other leg, and you can subsequently injure that other side. So what we'll sometimes see is someone actually tear their ACL on the contralateral side because the initial injury that was sustained, they haven't completely healed from.
Great insight there, as always, from Dr. James Oliger from the Center for Orthopedics. With 5 great locations in Northeast Ohio, if you have an injury question, if you need to talk to an expert or schedule an appointment, you can reach out to the Center for Orthopedics at 440-329-2800 and that new walk-in clinic in Amherst, right, Doctor?
Yes, great place to come. Come see us.
Again, that's the Center for Orthopedics all across Northeast Ohio, 440-329-2800.